In the 4.2 extra practice in question 1, you'll see that we're working with a lot of scale factors being expressed as equivalent fractions. So we want to remember a few things when working with our equivalent fractions. Any change that we make from one side, we must maintain and change on the other side. So we have to change both sides in the same way. When we jump in with a question like this, the first thing we want to start with, so our sort of steps to solve are, first, you're going to find the fraction or identify the fraction that you have the whole fraction of. So we want to identify the complete fraction. Okay. And then we want to identify we want to go from the complete fraction and we want to go towards the incomplete fraction. Okay. And then lastly, we want to complete the same change. So same change both sides. Okay. So in question 1A, we can see that 1/2 is equal to some unknown value of 250. So identifying the complete fraction, I'm just going to rewrite it so that I've got some space to show how I'm solving. So identify the complete fraction. We can see here that the fraction on the left is the complete fraction. I'm saying complete because I have both my numerator 1 as well as the denominator 2. They're numerical values. I know what they are worth. Because of that, we're going to go from the complete fraction to the incomplete. So in this case, I am moving from left to right. Then I want to identify with the completed fraction, whether looking at my numerator or my denominator, what do I know? I can see that I went from 2 to 250. So I'm thinking to myself, 2 times what equals 250? I could also solve that by thinking about it in the opposite direction, by thinking about 250 divided by 2 equals that same unknown, and 250 divided by 2 is going to equal 125. Because of that, I'm going to recognize that I am essentially saying that 2 times 125 is equal to 250. Lastly, the third step was to complete the same change. So since my denominator was multiplied by 125 on the bottom, I'm going to complete that same change on my numerator and multiply the top by 125. One group of 125 is equal to 125. So x is equal to 125, or we could say that 1/2 is equal to 125 out of 250. A reasonable way for us to check our answer here might be to use either the opposite strategy, so using division from the right to get back to the answers on the left, or we could also look at converting both the 1/2 on the left into a decimal, 1 divided by 2 equals 0.5, and also separately converting the fraction on the right, 125 divided by 250 also equals 0.25. So, equals 0.5. So we can see that they've maintained their value, that the value or their worth is equivalent, which is why they would become equivalent fractions. Let's take a look at, we're going to take a look at C here. So in C, I start with 1 over my unknown of Z is equal to 6.3 over 24.9. If I come back to those 3 steps from the beginning, I want to first identify which side, left or right, has my complete fraction. In this case, my complete fraction is starting on the right. I have my both numerator of 6.3 and I have my denominator of 24.9. Okay. Because of that, we want to go from the complete side, so in this case my right, and we're going to the incomplete side on my left. Then I want to pause and think about, do I have both numerators or both denominators? In this case, we've got both numerators. So I'm going from 6.3 to 1. So I want to think about 6.3 multiplied or divided by a value equals the value of 1. So since 6.3 divided by itself gives an answer of 1, we want to maintain that same change on the bottom by also dividing by 6.3. When I do that, I'm going to see my answer. So we've got 24.9 is being divided by 6.3. And we have an answer here of 3.952. So I'm going to just look and recognize that because my calculator has some additional digits, I'm going to use some contextual clues here. Both values on the right-hand side go to our nearest tenth. So I'm going to go ahead and maintain that. I'm going to round to my nearest tenth because 5 is a digit that rounds up. I'm actually going to end this as being about 4.0. Okay. Again, one last opportunity for me to check that this is a reasonable answer is that 1 divided by 4 obviously gives me 0.25. So if I plugged in 1 divided by 4 equals 0.25. And on the right-hand side, if I were to take our 6.3 and divide it by 24.9, we would get an answer of 0.253. And again, if I rounded to the nearest hundredth, that would become 0.25. Okay. So again, when we have those equivalent fractions, we want to find the fraction either right or left that we know both parts of. From there, we want to identify the change going from either numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. And then lastly, we want to complete the same change on both sides.